The Department of Education was awarded $60 million in ERA funds more than a year ago, and nearly all of it has gone unspent. The money, which has since been reprogrammed into a local fund called the Adequate Education Trust Account, has been shuffled around to prevent it from being lost to grant expiration dates. But the U.S. Department of Education is still enforcing a deadline, and the money must be obligated by September 30th, or it could be lost. DOE is asking for an extension, but Senator Duenas doesn't understand what's taking the department so long to spend the money when the conditions at Guam's schools continue to deteriorate.
This is not local money. We swapped it. The federal government allowed us to expend the funds on other projects and on salaries. And the bottom line is we have a timeline here. And my other concern is if we were to get an extension, is this going to make us more complacent?
But DOE Interim Superintendent Taling Taitano says the department asked for the extension under the guidance of the U.S. Department of Education.
We've been talking to U.S. DOE about the progress of our projects and let them know about some of the, some of the difficulties that we've had with the protests, and so they suggested to us that we consider asking for an extension of the timelines.
Taitano says $14 million of the $60 million is being held up by appeals to the Office of Public Accountability. Duenas says that the department could avoid these protests by contracting a manager for the funds that would then subcontract the work.
You see that with the Port Authority of Guam and a number of other large entities that when they see this procurement nightmare coming their way and they're trying to provide these opportunities for all the contractors out there, who some of them probably can't qualify, that's where you get all of these protests.
As for the money that isn't tied up in procurement protests, Taitano says that will all go toward capital improvement and technology projects for the schools.
The timeline is to obligate it. So as long as we have contracts in place by 9/30/2012, those funds, we would have met the requirements. There's no timeline on when the projects have to be complete. So, so theoretically, for instance, if we're not able to get a contract in place until August or September, we can actually schedule the work if it's major work to happen, let's say over the summer of the following year.
Senator Duenas sent a letter to Taitano asking for a list of unobligated funds. The list hadn't been provided as of early this afternoon. However, Taitano did tell PNC today that contractors will be able to bid on projects from the remaining funds soon.
The balance of the CIP money, we have the specs from our A&E firm should be presented to us next week. Those will be looked at, and then once they're finalized, we'll be able to put out IFBs.
Betsy Brown, PNC News.